Shelley Winter Show, live, local, and relevant. Shelby called in and said, what is the GRA? The GRA is the Georgia Republican Assembly. It's an organization of so-called Republicans who started because they felt like the Republican Party wasn't Republican enough. At least the one in Georgia did. They've been around for a number of years. They've infiltrated the Georgia GOP, and they're making it impossible to get anybody elected on a Republican side. And they are the cause of Cobb, especially, going blue, and many other metro counties going blue. It's not the people moving here, ladies and gentlemen, that they're necessarily Democrats, because they can be shown. They come here. They can see what's going on. They can see that schools are good in many areas of Georgia. They can see that property taxes are low. They can see that state income taxes are low. They can see this is a well-run state. It's when they get here and they see the people that vote Republican, some of them, not all, obviously, but some of them, and they see the loudest mouths, and they see the racism and the hatred and the meanness and the mean-spiritedness. They see that, and they're like, I'm going to vote Democrat. And that's why you lose counties like Cobb. That's why you lose counties like Gwinnett. That's why you lose them, because of the people who are enmeshed in the party. That's why. It's not the policies. They all the people that move here, they know small government is good. They know lower taxes are good. They know the schools are good. They know their property values increase. They know it. That's why they're here. But they meet the people. They go to a meeting one time and they say, oh my God, this is nuts. I can't do this. I'm just telling you what people tell me. Yeah, Shelley, I'm conservative. I agree with many of the things Governor Kemp is doing. I agree with many of the things Burt Jones did as lieutenant governor. I agree with a lot of those things. But I'm not voting alongside that girl, those people. That's what happens. But, you guys do what you want to do. So there's a story. This story comes up every now and then, every couple years. This time, it's generations of black children grew up learning that their home language isn't acceptable in school or the workplace. A movement is underway in California to change that. This comes up all the time. When I was growing up, I had an aunt. My aunt, her name was Taunt. Her real name was Adeline. It's my cousin Vincent Phillips, attorney Vincent Phillips' grandmother. His grandmother and my grandmother were sisters from Jamaica. And whenever I stayed at my Aunt Taunt's house, whenever I was over there as a young kid, I would be someplace watching TV or playing or reading a book or something, and she would say, Shelley, and I would say, huh? And she would say, get over here. And I'd come over, and she'd have this big dictionary, this huge dictionary. And she said, you can't do anything else until you find huh in the dictionary. That's what she would say. When we were growing up, we were told, we were made to enunciate. We were made to speak a certain way, because they all came from the West Indies. They had the West Indian accents and everything, but they were bilingual, if you will. And it's okay. Hispanics come here. They learn English. Italians came here. Polish people came here, Germans came here, they all learned English. They may have accents, but they learned to speak English. You don't help a child by saying, oh, this is the vernacular spoken in his neighborhood by those who are probably or maybe not as educated. So let's teach those children that that's the correct way to speak. That's not how you help a child. You don't lower the standards for children to help them. There's a great scene in Remember the Titans, the movie, and I love Remember the Titans. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's a great scene where the safety cornerback, Petey, is taken out of the game. And Denzel Washington as the coach is just hammering Petey, hammering him, and then he benches him. Says, go sit down. And then the white coach, with good intentions, he had good intentions. He comes over and he says, that's okay, Petey. Everything's going to be all right. We'll get you back in the game. And Denzel doesn't say anything. in the moment of the game. But later on, they're in a meeting in the office. And Denzel tells the coach, don't ever do that again. Don't patronize those, especially the black kids. That's what Denzel says. He says, because don't take it easy on them, because the world is not going to take it easy on them. He said, I'm trying to drill into them a sense of pride and dignity and hard work that the world can't take away from them. That's the whole speech. In other words, don't lower the standards, because you wouldn't do that for any other kid on the team. Don't do it for Petey. It's a powerful scene. Because Denzel is basically saying, treat all these kids the same, because the world is not going to be easy on these young black boys. No more than it's going to be easy on the young white boys. The world is not an easy place. Don't lower the standard for these kids. As good-hearted as that coach may have felt and thought he was doing the right thing, as good-hearted as these people in California may think they're doing the right thing for these kids, you don't lower standards in order to get better performance. If anything, you raise the bar so high that a kid has to work day and night to even get there. That's how you make better children. I used to come home with A's, and I'd have maybe one C or one B. And I'd be so happy because I had so many A's. You know what my mom would do? She focused on the B. She didn't say, great report card, you got all A's and one B, you did well, son. She said, what's up with the B? You better get that B to an A before the next report card, or you're not going to play Little League this year, or you're not going to play basketball this year, or you're not going to do any of the fun things that you like to do. She raised the bar every single day. Don't cripple my kids by lowering the bar. You tried it 30 years ago. It didn't work. Stop trying it. It's the Shelley Winter Show, 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. We'll be right back.